hold your horses, hold your cows, hold your chickens, or whatever you hold. Because we are sliding into a new episode of Bughy Wughy Wonderland, episode 19. I am back in Bughy Wughy Wonderland, and in this episode, as you can see in the background, we create something really special, a brand new themed area in our fantasy part of Bughy Wughy Wonderland. And this time we are building a new ride into a brand new, highly detailed windmill. And as you can see, there's lots of animation and moving pieces, and we bring all the landscaping together in one cohesive, beautiful looking theme. And when I say detailed, I really mean detailed. Custom tractors and chickens, and also even the inside of the ride is going to be themed. So without further ado, I reckon we just slide into the next episode of Bughy Wughy Wonderland. So hold your horses, your chickens and your cows. This is gonna be a beautiful, detailed ride. Let's go! Oh my God, that's great! Hey, there we are again, back in Bughy Wughy Wonderland. And here we are in the Sprookjesboek, or Bughuul, which is an area that we're currently building, which will be a fantasy area. And in the previous episodes you would have seen making this entrance with a little entrance book called the Sprookjesboek. And then you go under here, and then if you go under here you have a beautiful view of what is going to be like a big castle. But first we're gonna be building something that I forgot to build, and that will be an ATM. I just realized we actually don't have an ATM in this area, and I think I might build it here into like the rocks in the building. So let's go and do that first and build an ATM here. Alright, I couldn't find an ATM, but instead I built this little guest information point, I guess. The idea is that obviously guests need to have some money to be able to pay for stuff. So I thought, what if I make the currency boogies? So one boogie instead of $1, we have a boogie in this park. So I think it looks really cool. Like when you enter here, you see, you know, it's like quite overlapping, nice center point. It's got some height, and I think it's a custom tree, obviously. Like it looks really nice from the outside, quite detailed. And then on the inside here we've got umbrellas, sun cream, and more guest info. When you go in here, you can get umbrellas, sun cream, park map, and then Polaroid camera, which I think is really cool. I wish I had one of those like amusement parks. Sunglasses and park donations, but we only accept 100 boogie notes. So you got no small donations to make, only massive big ones. And she seems pretty happy. Are you happy? Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what we made here. I thought this place needed a little bit of a tune-up anyway, because this corner was quite boring, and now we've got a nice tree here, and which fits in nicely with this tree. And now we're gonna continue here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring these buildings down here. I'm gonna build like a little, you know, area here. Obviously, all the buildings need to be incorporated nicely. Currently, we only have the travel supply shop, and we've got an inn here. But I want to incorporate some kind of flat ride in here as well. So what I'm gonna do is bring these buildings down here so that we can free up this area, and then we're gonna start building like a little town or like a little, you know, village here, and it's gonna be really cool. And then we'll see if we can incorporate some kind of flat ride in there as well. So let's go and do that. I thought I'd first build a little bridge here, just so that the guest can cross over the stream that I've made and then start building the town on the other side. But first we need some water features. That's looking really nice. Now as you can see, we've done the bridge and we've done a little water section here. So what I've done is I've created 2 levels of water. This is a higher water level and this is a lower water level, and I use Bughy's waterfall technique to create a little stream just before it goes under the bridge, as you can see here. So here we've got the bridge and here we've got the water, and I wanted to show you how I actually do that, because here I've got another side that I have to do. When I try to delete the ground, I can't delete it because the water is in the way, which is very annoying. I hope they in the future change that. So what you want to do is you want to go to like a track ride. This is kind of my go-to track ride that I tend to use. And we're gonna just put it down somewhere here, and then we're gonna use the track to delete the soil or the ground. So if you go to settings, you want to make sure that auto tunnel is on 0 meters, and that way it's gonna create and remove terrain where you build your track. So if I start building now, see, it removes the terrain, and there you have it. You remove this track, and now we've got one line of water, as you can see here. We can just place some rocks on here, or the waterfall pieces, and that way you have 2 different levels. So you got a higher level and a lower level. That way you can create a little waterfall section like this. So let's go and finish that now. So I said I was gonna put down the buildings, but I ended up spending some time creating a little landscape, and I still have to build some waterfalls that come down from here, because currently this looks really wacky. The idea is to bring this waterfall down all the way to the bottom here, and then have it flow, have it create this little stream, and then obviously we've created 2 little pieces of scenery. We've got this little waterfall here and the similar waterfall there, and then we're gonna have to start building some buildings, of course, because we can't just have a landscape. But already it looks like it's coming along real nicely. Look at this, it's such a big difference from the start. So obviously also what's important is that you use terrain paint. As you can see the difference, I haven't used terrain paint here, but I have here, and you can see the difference how much better it looks with terrain paint. So I always recommend using terrain paint. It really accentuates your landscaping and it makes it so much better. So with that said, look at this little piece of scenery that we made, and I think we're gonna continue building, so let's move on. Alright, we have just made this beautiful looking bridge. We've got a lot of stuff still to do on the outside, but I just wanted to show you guys a trick. I had an idea of having the look of like stones on this path. So what you can do is, if you have these side panels and you enlarge them and you sink them in and you align them nicely, you can have the look of an older looking type of path, like you can see here. And I think that makes it look so much better. Obviously make sure you also rotate it so it stays like natural, and I think that gives a really nice looking view on your pathing as well. It makes it a little bit more rugged, as I say. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of the vibe I'm trying to create here. So I'm just trying to align them, sink them in, make sure that all the nice good pieces are poking out, something like that. And I think that looks really nice. It gives it such a nice, you know, middle-aged, old school looking view to it. And again, you can you can use alternative pieces for this, but I just figured out that this piece in particular works really well. So that's just a little tip from me, and I think that will come in handy to make things look a lot more natural, like you can see here. This looks gorgeous. Alright, let's continue and finish the rest. Alright, here I'm just chucking down the travel supply shop that we made in the previous episode. Make sure to check that out. It is full with details, and it's really nice. Lots of tiny little hints and Easter eggs as well in the back of the shop. And I'm placing down some barriers here just to make sure that the guests do not walk straight through the shop, because I have pathing underneath and behind the shop as well. And then I'm changing it to a natural path, and then I just spray paint it, and it blends in really nicely with the rest of the pathing as well. And then obviously also we made the big Bughy's Inn that we also need to place down. So that's what I'm doing here, placing that down and then connecting the path together. And that way it looks just really nicely incorporated, and obviously yeah, it's it gives the vibe that I was trying to get as well. The medieval kind of old town vibe. You know what I mean. Right, let's go check it out. Alright, I have put together the buildings, as you can see. It's now all nicely merged. And in these buildings we made in the previous episode of this park. And also I've put all the stones down, as you can see. And I did a little bit more terraforming, and it's really coming along. It's looking really nice and natural. Obviously there's still lots to be done. And as you can see, all the surrounding waters are not finished. We need lots of plants. I also need to build something here. However, I'm afraid that if I build something here, it's gonna be too tall to look out over the castle. But so we're gonna have something low, maybe the station of a new roller coaster or something. And then also I reduced the size, the blueprint of the supposed to be castle here. Because I'm going to actually make more of the park look like this, and then still have a castle. But as you can see, we can still expand in every direction. So this is just a general idea of how big things can become. But that's all subject to change, of course. So for now, super happy with how this turned out. It's nicely incorporated with the dirt pathing. And now I think we're gonna just chuck down some details and make this whole blend in together nicely, so that it's starting to turn more into like a little village or something like that. So let's get on to it. I was looking around online and for some reference images and some inspiration, and I found this really awesome photo of a windmill, an old ancient or an old medieval looking windmill, and I decided to turn this helter-skelter into a windmill. And because we've already have windmills at the start of the entrance in the park, I thought it would be really cool to have a windmill here. And honestly, I've got it slightly elevated on the terrain, so you got the builders of the front here, and then the helter-skelter is gonna be in the back, and on the top is gonna be some kind of rotation wind blade piece that rotates. We can probably animate it, and if you come down here you can see it contrast wise, you got like a tall background here, and then it just looks really cool with the foreground, having these buildings here and having something taller in the background. And I think that would work really well, and for that reason I decided to go with that. So this is kind of what the plan is, so let's start building. I love it so much how that blade rotates with two different types. Really happy with how this turned out. Ah, look at this. It's really coming together nicely. The composition is quite great in my opinion, and I think the flat ride's looking really good so far, and I'm turning it. Obviously I've got a couple more things to do, lots of details still to add, but I'm just gonna do a big twisty around so you can actually see the size of it. You can also see that the top is moving. Let's just wait a little bit, but you can see just spinning it up. There we go. Every about 30 seconds the head of the windmill rotates as well, which I think is a pretty cool effect. I still have to work on the inside, but I think that's quite alright. It's there's no chopping here. As you can see, the guests can safely walk around. They just shouldn't be poking their hands out because I have a feeling that they'll then get chopped off. But the ride's all done, as you can see here. It's really nicely integrated. And there's no, there might be a little bit dangerous here. Actually, I think I don't think there's gonna be any clipping between the guests and this slide. I think it's safe by the looks of it. Yeah, there's no way. And then you go under here, which is really cool. It's nice and cozy. And then you go under here, and then you slide all the way to the bottom right here. And then you come out, and I think from the outside as well, I think it's looking like a really nice building. We need to incorporate all the terrain work and, you know, hedges and bushes and all that sort of stuff. Work it all together, but I think what we're gonna do now is I have the entrance to be here, up from this little section going beside, probably connected till somewhere here, and then the exit will be like behind here, coming down somewhere, then probably connecting somewhere here. We'll make it work. We'll make it look nice. So I think we do a little bit more work on here, and I think that's when we're gonna call the episode and then start building for the next one. So let's go and make a entrance and an exit, shall we? And there we have it. It is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. It's come together so nicely. This episode we built this bridge here. And then we did some terraforming. Created these two water features. Number 1 and number 2. Very good looking. We created this bridge. Did this terraforming all over here. Placed down the buildings. As you can see, we got the travel supplies for all your adventures. Again, my favorite is the dragon poop, and there's lots of cool relics here. If you want to know what that's all about, make sure you check out the previous video of Bughy Wughy Wonderland. We've got lots of little Easter eggs and little hints towards other parts of the park. And here we also have Bughy's Inn, a beautiful inn that we've created. Also in the previous episode, also want to check out, there's again lots of Easter eggs and little details that you need to go and check out. And then in this episode we chucked it all together and create this windmill there that we can see. So I reckon we're just gonna pop down here somewhere and have a look around, and then we're gonna ride this bad boy, I reckon. What do you think? I think we should. We've got the attraction is called Heyday, and it reminds me of an old farming game I used to play on my mobile. This bloody game. I wasted my life on that stupid game. Oh, so stupid. But yeah, if you go in here, it's a really nice cozy entrance, I reckon. Lots of clutter and detail. It's a like little working shed, I guess. And then we're here, we have the first chicken nugget on legs. It's a chicken nugget on legs. I don't know what's wrong with their mouth, but or their beak, whatever you call it, beak mouth. Here we've got another chicken nugget on legs. And we've got a tractor here, which we also made. We made a red variant, but this one is just colored green. And then lots of hay around because it's hay day. Another chicken nugget. And here we have someone that can't shut the hell up. She's very happy. I really think they should nerf these peoples. Yeah, she should be nerfed. Another chicken nugget on legs. And here we have hay on the path. Oh my goodness, they haven't cleaned up properly. I'm gonna have to fire my staff. And then you go down the queue, and here you are in the queue. And then here we have this lady. I reckon we can... Oh, I guess we just wait around. No, let's not do that. I don't want to wait around. That's a waste of time. You guys must be busy. So here we got someone running upstairs. But here you can have a... Let's have a look first. We've got a little pulley system that pulls the hay inside the building. And I can hear someone slide down. There he goes. Super cozy. All the way around the building. No clipping, zero clippage. Are you happy with the experience? I guess not. She just disappeared. Oh, there she is. Oh my goodness. And here we have, yeah, they got the windmill. Super detailed. I really like how this turned out. It's actually functional as well. Like if you can walk up the steps here, you can actually walk left to go into this door, and if you walk right, you go down. And then there's another door here where you can go inside, which is pretty cool. On the back, just chuck some hay down. Oh my goodness, I'm bloody tired today. And obviously we have a lot of farming grass that's turned into hay. And here we have our beloved red tractor that we created in this episode. And I reckon we just go check out the inside. And we got this person running up the stairs. I was wondering what he was wearing, but it's an octopus head. How cute. You go, mate. Have a slide. Here we've got the inside of the windmill, and we've chucked some gears down that actually drives and moves the head of the tower of the windmill, which is pretty good. It's even functional, eh? I reckon that's pretty nice. And here we go up the stairs, and here we have the slide. And there's no clipping here, so you can walk on here if you want. And then your hands won't be chopped off unless you poke them out of the outside, and they will be chopped off. Let's wait for this guy. Look at his cool head. Look at him. Oh my god, I'm so happy, Book. I got the slide. Okay, let's be your eyes. Have a slide with this guy, shall we? And his sandals. Bloody hell. Whee! Look how cozy and cool this is. And I put some hay down there in case you got some people that have a little bit more weight. They go a bit faster, and then if my hay isn't here, they'll smash out, fly over here, and then land up somewhere down here. That would be a fun Easter egg. Maybe I should do that. What do you think? And then we got, yeah, I think let's have a look down here again. We got a person sliding down. Look how cute this is. Oh my god, she's so cute. Look at her little ponytails. Whee! She's going fast. You go down under here, and then you go under here. And then if you look on the outside here, the side is opened because it slightly comes out. It slides down and it comes out there a little bit. And this guy is just standing here, happy as a... whatever is happy. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of it for this episode. I hope you loved it as much as I did. Make sure you check out the previous videos where we built these buildings. Like I said, we will be building lots more. Look at all this empty stuff that we need to fill. This is only one episode. Isn't that insane? We got to make so much. Also, let me know what you think of the new kind of layout of my videos. It saves me a lot of time with editing and stuff, doing it this way, but please let me know what you think, if this is acceptable, and then we go from there. And then obviously in the next episode we probably start building something here, and I've got an idea of something that I want to make that will look really cool. We're trying to stay a little bit into this type of theming at the moment. But we'll build something here and it's going to be really epic. So make sure you stick around and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for checking it out and bye bye. See you later.